Are you hungry?
Give me something good.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Görgött. Today we're cooking portobello mushrooms. It's going to be a grilled portobello, which has been pickled in Verjus with a portobello emulsion and some pickled radish. And the sauce is going to be a buttermilk and chive oil sauce. But before we have a look at the board here, as always, help me support the channel if you're not already doing so by clicking the subscribe button and checking the bell icon to get notifications when new content comes online. But now let's have a look here. We have our grilled and pickled portobello. I've done that already, so I'll show you how I did it. We have 3 nice portobello mushrooms here. Now you don't have to do this, but I kind of like to even it out at the bottom, so then it's easier to put on the grill. Like that. And now we'll go out, put these on the grill, grill them until they're done, and then we come in again. Here we have all the ingredients we need for our pickling of the grilled shiitake. So it's on the grill, it can be there by itself for a minute. And in the meanwhile, we can mix this together. So we need some verjus. That was about maybe 200 milliliters. About 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. 1 finely chopped shallot. And then we need some white pepper. 2 turns should do it. Now we just mix this. And we're going to put it on the stove and warm it up. You shouldn't boil, but warm up so that the kind of shallots release its nice taste, the sugar dissolves. Just get it on the stove. So we've grilled it, both sides. I'll just show you one of them. And now you just slice it up. I would say about 2-3 millimeter slices. And then you need somewhere to put them. I'll put them in here. We have our liquid here. And now you just pour this over. Obviously I'll put the other 2 mushrooms in as well. And now this needs at least a couple of hours. I think I will have time to leave it for about 4 hours until I make the rest of the dish. And you just leave it to cool. Once it's cool, you can put it in the fridge and just let it soak in all of those nice verjus and shallot flavors. But that's how we prepare the grilled, marinated portobellos. Quite straightforward. And before we go on, turn on your oven to, I think I turned it up to 260 degrees, because we're going to roast some portobello as well to make the portobello emulsion, or the portobello mayo, you can call it as well. We have our buttermilk, we have an egg yolk, some salt, we have our homemade chive oil. I'll put a link down in the description to exactly where I made the chive oil in a previous episode. So if you want to check that out, it's down in the description. We need some neutral oil, and we need some verjus. But that's it. That's all we need. Let's start with what takes the longest now, and that's the roasting of the portobellos. So we'll cut them up and shove them in the oven. First of all, we just put a little bit of neutral oil in the oven. What do you actually call it? Cocotte? Form, I don't know. So we have our portobellos. We have something to put in the oven with a bit of oil in it. Now, don't worry about what this looks like, because you're going to make basically a mush of it all anyways. Just cut it up to kind of, not even bite-sized pieces, but smaller pieces for the roasting. As well, these are going to shrink like we saw when we when we grilled, there's going to be less volume. So this now goes in there, 260 degrees, probably 45 minutes. Just have a look at them. They need to be nicely roasted. In the meantime, we can also prepare our pickled radish. Let's say that much. This is what we need. And this goes into here. And I'm really excited because I have kind of a fetish for these Japanese plastic kitchen utensils. And I love this thing. I'm going to put it in here, but I'm not going to show you all the details. And then I'll show you how we make kind of thin, very thin stripes, you could say, of the radish. Our radish is in. And now we just turn. And this is what we're after. So this is what we'll pickle. For the pickling, I think that's a good length. We take some of our Verjus. And now you saw the grilled portobellos that we pickled already was also in Verjus, but it was with sugar. We're going to make these more sour, so we're just doing Verjus. Make sure that you get them all in there. And then we just leave it in here to pickle. It's a quick pickle, but we can pickle while the portobellos are in the oven. And now let's prepare our buttermilk sauce. Gonna need a little bit of salt in there. Gonna need a little bit of Verjus. Verjus is something that goes through the whole dish, as you can tell. Let's mix that up first. Let's get ourselves a spoon. Give it a taste to see if it's enough salt and sourness. Could use some more salt. One more taste to see if the saltness. Perfect. And now to our wonderful chive oil. Just put some in here. Now you don't have to whisk, you can just stir it a bit. And that's perfect. So basically we've pickled our radish, we've done our grilled portobello, we've done our sauce. Our other portobello is in the oven. I'm going to make the mayo out of that. But now we'll just cut until the portobello are done in the oven and we'll make the mayo. And then we're almost done. As you can see, our portobello mushrooms from the oven. You see how small they got? Well, this is perfect. So now we just put them in a different container. It's a little bit hot. The other things we're going to need are some salt, an egg yolk, some oil, and we're going to need some more Verjus. But first we start with mixing these up. So that's small enough. Now a little bit of Verjus, some salt. You can mix a bit again, like that. Now we get our egg yolk in there. Mix again. Add some of our oil, quite a bit. Continue mixing. A bit more oil. Now I think we have pretty much the perfect consistency. Give it a taste. Not bad. We'll add a little bit more salt and a little bit more Verjus. A bit more salt. Bit more Verjus. There's no measurements for this, you just have to kind of go by your own taste. Now we'll mix it. And yes, the color is not the most attractive, but the taste, perfect. Now we just want to put this into a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, you can just use a normal plastic bag and kind of the corner of it and use that as a pipe. So that's enough. So we'll put this to the side until we need it. That's one last thing we need to do with our radish. Take it out. We don't want it too wet. I have a kitchen paper here. Make sure you kind of dry it off a bit. Like that. I will split this into two. These is just folded in the middle. And then get your knife in between. Like that. And we're going to roll these up. We want to roll them quite tight. I hope you can see it there. So that's pretty perfect for one we want. Now roll up the other one. But before you do that, if you stuck with me this far, there must have been something you liked about this episode. Do me the favor, hit that like button below. That really helps me to get found by the YouTube algorithm. So please hit the like button. And now we'll switch until we basically put it on the plate, the plating. One thing before the plating, let's cut this up actually, I forgot to say that. About centimeter pieces. Perfect. And now we can plate. So here we have everything we need for the plating. We have our grilled portobello mushrooms. We have a radish. We have our buttermilk and chive oil sauce. We have some thyme just for decoration. And we have our portobello mayonnaise or our portobello emulsion. We start with the mushroom. Spread it out a little bit. And then we put our radish just around. Our portobello mayonnaise. Now, I'm not the most beautiful kind of piper, but I hope you will forgive that. Hopefully, you're a better piper. And we have our buttermilk sauce. Just spread it out nicely. Like so. And then last but not least, some thyme. And there we are. Time to give it a try. Let's dig in. Kind of get a bit of everything in there. I think it's really nice. And it's nice to have the different textures and a little bit different taste of the portobello mushroom. Although it's the same kind of vegetable or mushroom, the cream tastes very different from the grilled that we did, grilled and pickled. And pickling the radish like this adds also different dimension because it's a different type of pickle. It's a much more sour pickle. And a buttermilk with the chives, perfect. I think mushroom and tomatoes are probably the biggest umami ingredients that you can find here in Europe. Now, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you give it a try because it is very easy and it doesn't take very long. At least not the cooking process. It takes a little bit of time in the oven, and then the grilled portobello needs to marinate a bit. But except for that, it's not difficult cooking. But it's really nice and refreshing, perfect for spring, summer, and early autumn when it's a bit warmer outside again. I think you will like it. That's it for this time. As always, at the end, please support the channel by subscribing and clicking the bell icon. But all that's left for me now is to say thank you very much. Bye-bye.